Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 28th day of November, 27th day of Cheshvan. Here we go. Okay, so we're still in the laws of salt and the customs that involve salt in our Jewish religion, and here's another one. On Seder night, you know that usually when you make a hamotzi with bread, you dip your bread into salt. What about when you're dipping the matzah on Seder night? So there are some, like the Ramah, who says that you don't dip your matzah into salt on Pesach night. And the reason is because salt is kind of representative of shimur, of watching. You know, we salt things and that makes them like last longer. So on Leil Shimurim, the night of Pesach, which is called the night that we are watched by God, the night that He, did the great plague against the firstborn to protect us, it's a night that God watches us so carefully. So the salting, watching of our food, which salt does, is not necessary on Leil Shimurim, on that night of watching, and that's why some don't dip their matzah in salt on Seder night. Another reason is because salt is forever. It just lasts and lasts and lasts, and food spoils. So salt put on food is to sort of protect it from spoilage. But when you're eating l'shem shamayim for the sake of heaven, and the matzah that you eat is just pure mitzvah on Seder night, and since you're doing it for the sake of heaven, so no spoiling is possible, so no salt is necessary. That's what some other rabbis say as their reason. One more reason is because we dip our bread usually into salt to kind of show that we're elevating it. Salt, again, is forever and shows no spoiling. And we want our bread that we're eating to be also like elevated in high forms of holiness. And the elevation in high levels of holiness will make it like kind of symbolically forever. Well, so you don't need to do that on this great night of Pesach when the matzah is already greatly elevated because it is pure mitzvah. Every bite that you're taking is a mitzvah to be eating that matzah. So to elevate it to the status of eternal reward is kind of not necessary as a symbol because every bite of matzah on Pesach night is in itself an eternal reward for the mitzvah. Okay, leaving that topic over to the topic of Rosh Hashanah. What do you do on Rosh Hashanah when we dip our bread in honey? Do you dip it in salt? So there are different customs on that. One custom is that on Rosh Hashanah we dip the bread into salt first and then into honey. That's what some people do. Some people dip one end of the bread into salt and the other end of the bread into honey. And some people say just dip it into honey and skip the salt part on Rosh Hashanah. You can ask your rabbi which custom to follow, but basically these are three different versions about what to do with salt while you're dipping your bread in honey on Rosh Hashanah. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.